Right, we're live. Right, welcome back to another Beard Invades. First of all, I apologise for Tuesday. I didn't do a live because I got a poorly thumb, so I couldn't make anything. But I'm back with an invasion this week, and we've got the Garage Avenger. So let's get him on screen. There he is. Welcome.
Hey guys.
Your arms looked really, really big then when you went like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It must be the camera. I am freakishly tall. Someone recently said on a podcast that I was 8 feet tall, but I'm actually 6'4", I think. So yeah,
6'4".
I am tall, but not 8 foot.
6'4". I mean, that's like that's like nearly a foot taller than me. Right. So you've seen these invasions before, haven't you? Or you've seen one or two of them.
I
so
have,
you know
yes.
what to expect. Yeah.
Well, I'm ready, I think.
Okay, cool. Right. First of all, I'll just run down the chat, let you know who's in. Really quickly. I can't do that quickly. I'll just start mixing people's names up, and we end up with all sorts of weird names. Anyway. So we've got Wayne the Wood Turner, JP Woodwork, Di, Clive from Sneaks Wall Art, Peter Corcoran, Doug Miller. You probably recognise most of these. The Blue Light Turners Workshop, Andy from AHB Spoke. I told you I'm not very good. An Irish Diary.
Where's your glasses, Rich? Why is your glasses, mate?
I know, they're in the house. I get to this point every single week, and I'm like, oh shit, I should have bought my glasses.
How do you forget them every single week? I don't understand.
I know. It's just me. I've got a shocking memory. Wood Turning by Barry. Chris Spinning Wood Dodger. The problem is, as I'm scrolling, it's all fuzzy into one mad, huge maker fest. RPM Woodworks, Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft, Ian in the Shed. I'm still apologising in the shed. Last week I made it right. Anyway, Jim Conlon, Jim. Welcome, Jim. Circular by Keith. Yeah, okay. So that's enough. Otherwise, I'll start merging them all into one again, won't I? Right then, so let's find a little bit about you. So where exactly are you at the moment? What part of the world?
I'm in my garage, if you hadn't realised. And
yeah.
I live in a town called Tønsberg. It's on the southern part of Norway. And if you hadn't worked out, I'm not really from there originally. So I moved here about 8 years ago now from Australia. My wife's Norwegian. So so I lived here for 8 years, and it's a beautiful country, and glad I moved.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've never been there, but I'd love to go there.
Well, you got a bed to crash on if you ever come this way. So
excellent.
Yeah.
I don't know about Australia, because everything in Australia wants to eat you, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why I left.
Cool. So how long you been making then?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think I've been creative quite. If I think back to like my teenage years, I built this, I was obsessed with this lowrider chopper thing that I was building in my garage. Now I had no tools. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I loved it, and I used to pretty much every weekend modify it and then ride it to school, and think I was cool or something, that I was the biggest dork ever. And then and then that kind of all stopped. I joined the military, and I was working as a submarine engineer for about 8 years or so, and then after that, I moved to Norway, and I kind of lost my way a bit, and then I was kind of, I guess, miserable and depressed. I was like, what am I doing with my life? And then I decided that I was gonna I was going to build my daughter, who was 1.5 years old at the time, I think, or maybe even just one. I was going to build her a soapbox car, and it was like supposed to be just like a plank on wheels, and then it turned into that thing on the top shelf there. So that's kind of how it all started, really. And I wasn't really sure what to do with that. And then it took a long time before I really decided, like, oh, I'm gonna make it, like, do this all the time and enjoy myself and get my own workshop and start building things that I'm dreaming of building. You know.
Yeah, enjoying it. Can you fit in these little cars that you build? I mean, you must have some long legs.
Well, on the one that's on the top shelf there, I could sit on the back of it and have my legs like hanging out, you know.
Oh, so if you do come off it, then you're guaranteed to have broken legs, you know, snapped knees and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's no chance I'm walking away from that without injury. But I'm pretty good at injuring myself. So yeah, you know, there's nothing different for me.
Aren't we all? I fell off the roof and dislocated my ankle. Oh, yeah, and I wasn't even pushed either. Right. So the guys in the chat, you know the score now. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat. Let's have as many as you like tonight. And get to know a little bit more about the crazy side. I've got to ask, the crazy side of, you know, when you're putting your videos together and stuff like that, is that a result of being submerged in a submarine for a long time? You know what I mean? That must be something.
Yeah, definitely. You're not quite sane if you can be honest.
No.
Living and working on a submarine.
Yeah, I can't even go in the underground in London. It scares the hell out of me, let alone a submarine.
No, I think it's more. I think I've just grown into my own skin. Decided to be more myself. I have a weird sense of humor in my brain all the time, and I decided just to express that through my videos. Like I was explaining to you before, in general, I'm quite a serious person, and I'm not like on my, quick off my feet to try to come with comebacks and funny that way. I often have to think things through, and I think about scenarios, and that's why I throw myself off mountains and have 43 seconds myself rolling down a mountain, and weird stuff that happens, mucking around often in the workshop, weirdly just clicking my fingers and being naked for some reason. Like that just is all the humor in my head, in my projects. And I kind of I never really wanted to make a DIY show where like you just do this and take the next step, and then I did this. I always thought that shit was boring as batshit. So I always wanted to I thought there was enough of that. So I wanted to do my own stuff, which was just to share the journey pretty much of what I was going through. And often the journey is what's going on in my head, which is craziness sometimes.
We've got a question from Wheels Dan. Just shut on the screen. Can he make me a grip cart? A crip cart? Crip cart?
I don't know what that is, but I watched Wheels Dan on the Invades, so I assume it's something awesome that you can set his wheelchair in and scoot around with.
Right, so Wayne the Woodturner, ask Jordan about docking.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Andy asked me to ask you off screen about docking. No, forget that. Forget that.
Oh my
Thanks,
god.
Wayne. Thanks, Wayne. Andy was like, don't ask him about this.
Oh my god. Wayne, you dirty dog.
So we got a few more people come in. Whitebeard, my old man. All right, just one more bit. Oh, yeah, and wheels down. Okay, so moving on from docking. Let's have a little look at your channel, shall we? Share that. Yeah.
This is scary.
So you're currently on 1,300 and something subscribers. How long have you been? How long?
I think I uploaded my first video like 4 years ago, which was the soapbox car video, which was just a show and tell pretty much of like how I built it.
Is that the one that you just pointed out that's up on your shelf?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, and then I made a couple other things, and then it kind of went silent for a while, and then I decided 2 years ago that I'd kind of step this thing up and start making some stuff. So I just started making things that I wanted to make. A lot of them are kind of crazy. The third, I call it a spanking paddle because it just looks kinky.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought it was, really. I just renamed it to, as that. I'm going to work way through your videos. They look really interesting.
I just, for those who don't really know me, I've also had a podcast, and there's been a bit of pressure lately for me to get it up and running again because got a bit of a push from Jimmy DeResta to put it back up and get it going again. So that was super nice of him. So maybe I can share with you guys there may be more episodes of the Make Ideas reality podcast coming soon. So that's that could be exciting. It definitely won't be every week, but for sure, like if I get it going, it'll be at least once a month. I'll have someone on and we'll talk about some stuff. Yeah.
Any more questions, guys? You've got to have some questions in there, surely.
I'm surprised no one's asking about the penis drawings in every single video.
Yeah. So what's that about then?
In every single video, there's a penis drawing. It doesn't matter. There's always one hidden somewhere or in very obvious sight. So there's always things around. Like even if it's just one time we had a maker get together and I made a zinc penis. So sometimes this is just lying around randomly in the shots because I just thought it was funny just to put it in.
Well, there you go. So we're gonna have to work our way through your videos now just to try and spot the penis. Yeah,
that's pretty much what you have to do. And then in the sofa beer fridge videos, there's an Easter egg in every single one, and so there's only a couple of people found them, so they're a little bit more harder to find. Everyone just thought they were the penises, but they weren't the penises. So there was other things hidden inside the videos. So those who found them got prizes. So that's cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So Lars, I'm not sure how you pronounce Lars' surname, Auckland or something like that. He says, I'll keep one of those in my car just in case. What's that? A penis.
Yeah. Lars found one of the Easter eggs, and that was part of his prize pack, was to get one of those in his mail. And then he probably had to explain to his wife why someone was sending him zinc penises in the mail.
So we've got a question from JP Woodwork. In case you didn't know, you are a twin.
Yes.
Too.
He makes beer.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, he makes some really interesting beer. Actually, I'm just going to show you a bottle of his because it's super duper cool. So there's my brother's brewery. It's called Eucharist, and he makes he makes some really really fucking amazing beers. This is Imperial Stout. He calls it Infernal Stout because it's 17%. But this is like the nicest beer. I hate dark heavy beers, and this is fucking delicious. So shout out to my brother at Eucharist Brewing. Does a great job. So yeah.
What does he sell those? Does he? Can you buy those online?
Right now you can't. He's making very small batches. It's very exclusive, so he's sold out. But I'm sure he'll come with more beers. He makes an awesome chili, some IPA and things like that. So yeah, well, so that's what my brother makes.
Yeah, if he's got social media and that sort of thing, just shoot me the link later, and I'll pop it on the description of this video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, but we are twins and we look exactly the same, and it's super freaky. So,
have you ever played like weird games at school and things like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we did. Yes, we have. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Yeah, we'll carry on. Okay. So, why YouTube? What? And I ask everyone the same question. What made you upload that very first video to YouTube?
Well, the first video was the car video, and it was really just because people started like stopping me. I was working. I didn't have my own workshop, and I was borrowing people's garages, and they would get upset with me, so I would like have to move it around to other people's garages, and so people kept on seeing it like in the way of its production, and people kept on saying, "Oh, that's a really cool car, and you should like show some people." So I got together with my brother, and we filmed the first little video, which was super cheesy and horrible. Just to show some people. But the real reason why I started doing the proper YouTube stuff sort of 2 years later was, I was finding my groove, and I realized that making made me act super happy, and I love the process of building something. And I just wanted to share that with people because, there's many people out there that just sort of, I don't know, struggle, I guess you'd say, and I wanted to sort of show people that you can have crazy ideas and you have no experience on how to make them reality, and somehow you do it, and that's kind of what I wanted to share.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so that kind of leads into your workshop tour. You make these cars, and there's got to be people out there, especially Wheels Dad. He's a bit crazy with a wood and a welder. By the way, he needs that beer in this country. But should we have a little look at your shop and see what it takes to make these crazy things?
Well, it's funny because I don't have very much tools, and in fact, I built that car up the top there with a jigsaw, a handsaw, and a screwdriver, pretty much. Like that was it. So, but I'll unplug the computer and I will take you guys for a bit of a walk around, and you guys have a look. So I guess I can just show you where I was sitting right there. This is my main workbench. This is where you often see my videos filmed from. This is my sort of, I guess my mission is to ignite creativity, make ideas reality. I have my scaling banana, cast in aluminium there, ready to go. I don't have a lot of fancy tools. I got the drill press, which sucks balls, and I have a decent miter saw from Bosch. This just works pretty good. I got these pretty average sanders, but they do the job that they need to do. Table saw, that's pretty average as well. But that's the thing, you don't need a lot. Okay, yes, it looks very expensive for those who don't have a lot of tools, but I know a lot of you guys watching probably have a buttload of tools, and you're like, this guy got nothing. So yeah, just a pretty standard bandsaw. And I got my newest projects that I'm working on at the moment, which is a ice bath. I got really into weird ice bathing things. So making this, basically I got a freezer from a shop. I got it free off like the equivalent of Gumtree. And then, yeah, basically put some piping and plumbing in and pumps and stuff like that to get flow, and it's kind of tough. Yeah, I've got a project here. I got my friend Jurgen. Shout out to Jurgen. He's a mad dog for helping me. That's going to be a sushi train, which I have an idea for. So that's going to be fun. This is my Batmobile, which I built for my son for his 4th birthday. I don't like, this is made from all trash, like everything. That's like an awning cover, the wing, and I modified it to be a real wing. You asked about like if I could sit on these cars. I made that specific seat on the back so I could sit on it. So, and this runs like a 500 watt motor with a 48 volt battery system. And yeah, it goes way too fast for the kids. Like I got scared letting them drive it.
I was just thinking how much trouble a 4-year-old could get into with that kind of power in his hands.
Too much. I clocked my son with the GPS attached to the car at 42 kilometers an hour when he was 4.5 years old. So that was pretty crazy. And then I guess I give you guys a bit of a closer look to the car. We won a couple of soapbox races in this thing. So it's heavy as hell too. So it rolls down the road pretty quick as well. My shop is not organized. Like I'm kind of I tidied this shop before this interview because I was normally I work like a messy bastard when I'm working. So yeah, so that's kind of that's how I roll it pretty much. In between projects, I'll clean the shop, but when I'm working in the middle of a project, it's just absolute chaos.
Yeah, same here. The same with a lot of people actually. Di Prout says, what's he say? Oh, what's he gone? So, is there room for you and Wim Hof in the ice bath?
Yeah, there's actually, yes. I mean, that thing, it doesn't look that big, but it's huge. It's 2.5 meters long. So like me and my wife were in it when we were testing it, just to see everything, all the systems work on it properly. And we could have fit another 2 people in there easy. So
is this a video? It's going to come
yeah, it's going to be a video. Yep. So I nearly film everything, or like there'll be some small projects that I won't film. But I like to film things that are like I spend a lot of time and effort on because I just feel it's worth sharing, you know. Like I always go on a journey when I'm building something, and I want to share that journey with someone and hopefully inspire them to like go, you know what, I could make something as well. Like if that fucking idiot, you know, is always goofing off, can somehow like make that, you know, like then I can do it. So that's the way I sort of see it.
This is the whole point to, like I said to you earlier, the shop tour. If you've inspired someone to make something through a video that you've invested time and effort in there, and they think, well, I could do that. They can, by doing the shop tour, they can see that you're not a multi-million pound setup, you know, in your shop and all that. You've got the basic of tools, you know, and that's why I think it's really important because people can say, well, the only thing I need now is the actual talent and the know-how. So, you know,
I think for me, like if you can't make something with limited tools, you're never going to make stuff with all the tools in the world. You know, it has to be like in your heart, you know. He has to live and breathe it. If you keep on making the toolbox excuse, I can't make that because I don't have that tool, then you're probably never going to make it in the first place. So.
Yeah, true. Right, so Wayne the Woodturner, typical Aussie F-bombs everywhere. That's
so
fine.
true.
We're past 9 o'clock, past the watershed. That's fine.
I wouldn't be Aussie if I didn't drop F-bombs.
No,
let's be quite honest.
No, you wouldn't. And then you wouldn't be you. Let's face it, we've come to watch, well, the people in the chat have come to watch you. So, okay, so inspirations. Who, if anyone, has inspired you to do what you do? I mean, where do you get your inspiration from for each of your projects?
Well, inspiration generally comes from like a problem I have. So like the sushi train project is coming from a problem I have with eating tacos every Friday with my family. So that I'm engineering a solution to that problem, But outside inspiration, like people, I mean, it's weird because I'm doing the hashtag Made for Makers, challenge this month, and it got to that inspiration day the other day, and I couldn't write anyone down. I found it really hard. I weirdly try not to be super inspired by makers, weirdly, because I think that weirdly also makes me the same as them, which I don't want to be. So there's I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love a Colin Firth video, I love a Bobby Duke video, but in general, I kind of weirdly try to steer away from watching a lot of maker videos because I just want to be in my own mind, create what I want without influences from other people.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I mean, people like Bobby and Colin, they do rub off on you, and before you know it, you picking up their mannerisms and their way of doing things, and that's not you, is it?
No,
you are you.
I mean, some might say that like some of my humor and weirdness is a little bit like Bobby and his videos, but to be quite honest, I was doing that before I even knew Bobby Duke existed. So I kind of see that as like a compliment more than anything else. Like, oh yeah, okay, well that means that Bobby's doing well, in his channel. So, it's only a matter of time. And yeah, that's all I think it is. It's like, if I want to be successful at this, I just have to have patience. And I just have to put in the work. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So, Makers International, do you think you'll be coming over for that?
Makers International, I doubt it.
No, Makers Central.
Oh, Makers Central, yeah, I doubt it. I've got this family commitment. I really, really want to go. And there is a chance that I probably won't even have the vaccination by then anyway, so I won't be able to go. So, like, if I could, I'd be there, like, for sure. Because when I went there in 2019, it was the best experience for me. I got to meet people like myself, which I didn't know actually existed until I met all these people in 2019. I was like, holy crap, you guys are all weird and the same like me. So this is awesome, and I made a lot of great friends there too. So, I'm hoping that maybe in the future, the event will run again and I'll be able to meet everyone again. And hopefully this COVID shit will just fuck off and just be done. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Up yours, COVID. That's all I got. So, okay, so we're nearly there. So, camera equipment. What do you use to make these videos?
I don't even know what the camera's fucking called. It's a Sony thing. I literally, like, I'm not at all like obsessed with my equipment and the best of the best or anything. Like, it just has to be decent-ish and be good. Like, it's a handy cam, so it has autofocus majority of the time for me because I just couldn't be asked sitting there adjusting every shot. But I can adjust it if I want to in manual settings. But like, yeah, and I have some wireless mics, which just make the sound a little bit better when I'm talking at least. So that's pretty much it. The only thing I wish I could invest in is actually better lighting in the shop, just so I could light things better and get the shots that I wanted. I'm not like this dramatic shooter, like for example, Laura Kampf or somewhere. She's got these like romantic, shots and very mood lighted, shots of her making stuff, and that's definitely not me because my shop's just full of fluorescent lights, so it's a bit different.
Yeah. It's better tonight actually because we had a little bit of flicker on the test, didn't we?
Yeah.
Tonight, so that's good.
Yeah.
So we got Rob CP in the chat. He said, "Hi all, love the language here." Smelly Cat Creations is in. Like I say, Rob C. Lawrence is in too. Cheeky Shed is in. Shop Dog is also here. I think. Yeah. Okay. So nearly there. Tools. So is there a tool that you love and a tool that you don't love so much? Or you hate?
Yeah, I mean, the tool I love has to be this bad boy. This is like my favorite tool. This drill. I don't like, yes, it's Festool and everyone's going like, you rich fuck, like what the fuck? But I got this super cheap off my old job. But like it's a workhorse. This little drill astounds me every time. It's got amazing like throttle control as well. And it has this weird system where you can just throw bits off really easy. Change it out with, for example, just like you want to put a drill bit on instead, and you can change it real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
And the battery's pretty decent as well. So that's I have a weird love affair. My wife gets jealous when I sleep with this at night. But that's my most loved tool. My most hated tool. Yeah, I think it's probably my bandsaw. It's just shit.
Oh, right, okay.
Because what happened is I bought it from like a chain store, right? And I wore out it has these carbon brushes on the bottom.
Right.
That's like to steer the blade in the bottom, and something went wrong and they got fucked up, and then you can't buy any brand new. So I had to make this dodgy system for it to work. So I got annoyed at it, considering that you spend all this money on a decent sized tool, right? You want it to work extensively, and yeah, it just doesn't do its job. So yeah.
So you can't change the guides to bearings.
Oh, you probably could, but that would involve effort. And let's be honest, I want to make stuff. I don't want to make fixed tools. Like that's boring.
Fair enough. Who's that? I can't even pronounce it. That's Georgian. Anyway, I was sure your favourite tool was the scaling banana.
It is, yeah. Again, it's close to my heart, mate. For those who don't know, Jürgen Stray, he makes these official scaling bananas, and solid aluminium. They're pretty awesome. So be sure to check him out as well. Massive shout out to him. He's always helping me. Probably the best maker I know, for sure. And he does some amazing stuff. He makes like gauntlet gloves and axes and you name it. He makes it. He's melting brass and all sorts of things and making molds and stuff. It's awesome. He's an amazing maker. So massive shout out to him.
Well, that leads us into your shout outs. So I did try and bring one up earlier on, but I don't know if I spelt it wrong. Right. So who's your first?
Well, you got to go with Jurgen first. He's the nicest dude. He helps me out all the time, and you know, super grateful for him as well. Like every time I need something, he suddenly just says yes, and I'm like, I can't believe it. So very, very grateful for him. Another one is actually Stian Suhus, his name is. He's also just been great support, often just giving me feedback on things often. Rob from Prickly Sauce, he's also been an amazing support for me, often giving me feedback, often giving me shit. And it's been great ever since I met most of these guys at Maker Central. You know, they've stayed in contact and they've supported me in what I've been doing, and I just feel grateful that I've got them, you know, along for the ride. So really appreciate them.
Well, what I'll do is I'll put links to all your shout outs in the description below, so you can head over, check them out. Is that all of them?
There's probably a billion more I could list off, but we'll keep it to those three. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And there you go. You've successfully survived a beard invades. So
thanks everyone. Thanks for joining me in Garage Avenger HQ.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on and answering a few questions. And like I say, all your shout outs will be in the description below later on when I can get back into YouTube to fix it up.
Awesome.
And thanks to everybody in the chat for coming and chucking out a few questions and giving Garage Avenger your support. Anyway, so that is it. And next week, who's next week? Bear with me. Andy H is for turning, I think, is next week. I think. But keep an eye out anyway for that. Right, and I'll see you all next time.
Thanks, guys.